Welcome back, everyone. May is ALS Awareness Month, a time to shine a light on a devastating disease that impacts thousands of families all across our country and here in Metro Atlanta. For one Atlanta leader, it's also very, very personal as he continues to share his story while living with ALS. To talk more about his journey, his advocacy, and why ALS Awareness Month matters, we're joined in studio by David Jernigan. David, it's so good to see you. A lot of people in this community know you. You spent more than 25 years as a leader, and in fact, it was just about a year ago you stepped down as CEO of Boys and Girls Club here in Metro Atlanta. So I want to ask you, it's been a year since we kind of last saw you publicly. How are you doing health-wise?
I'm doing well. I tell folks I'm grateful to be what's considered a slow progressor with this disease. It's affecting my walking more than anything. That's where it started for me. For a lot of folks, it starts in other parts of their body. But I'm doing well overall.
Yeah, and you were always a big active guy. You ran the Peachtree Road Race. I would see you in the gym sometimes as well. When did you start to notice that something was changing in your body?
Yeah, I tell folks it was the Peachtree Road Race that was the marker for me. I remember training for the 2023 Peachtree. I used to be an avid runner, and I just was struggling to run. And that was the last race. I actually ran probably a mile, and then after that, my legs were just giving out. But I really struggled to explain to my doctors what was going on because it just was weakness that I was feeling, and I just thought I had to work harder in the gym, and then I just decided I'm just getting old, and that's what it is, but finally figured out what was going on. It took a while though.
Yeah, so ALS is a disease that maybe not everyone knows a lot about. Yeah. Talk about what it does to your body and your nervous system.
Yeah, so it's a neurodegenerative disease that affects your nerve cells that effectively control your muscles, and it's all your voluntary muscles. So it shows up for people in different ways. For me, it started in my legs and my feet. For other people, it can start in their arms. But what it essentially does over time is that it essentially kills your muscles, and you're no longer able to control any of your muscles that are required for walking, for chewing food, for breathing, which is what makes it a fatal diagnosis. When people get diagnosed with the disease, they tend to have the life expectancy is between 2 to 5 years.
2 to 5 years. So how do you make every day count?
It's something I'm still figuring out, honestly. It's, as you said, I've been retired now for a year. I spend a lot of time doing community work. I'm still very involved in some nonprofit organizations, but I'm also just trying to be present. I have now unhurried lunches and dinners with former students and colleagues, and doing travel, but also trying to find time to also advocate. One of the things about this disease is that when you get diagnosed, you don't really have hope because there is no cure, but there's a lot of research out there that says that hope is really an important part of determining longevity for folks that are battling a disease like this. And so part of my time is just getting involved in the ALS community and building awareness around the disease.
In fact, you're a new board member with an organization called Hop on a Cure.
That's right. Yeah. So John Driscoll Hopkins, one of the lead vocalists and instrumentalists in the Zac Brown band, was diagnosed a few years ago, and he and his wife started this foundation. They're here in Atlanta, and the foundation, what I love about it is there are a lot of organizations that are focused on supporting folks that are living with the disease, which is really important, but they are exclusively focused on funding research, and funding research that is sometimes the innovative research that's hard to get federal funding for. They've given over $5 million away in grants to researchers who are trying to find the cure and give hope to those of us who are living with this.
And so you've been working in the community, you're doing advocacy work. What can we do as a community to help?
Yeah, I think it's just showing up and building awareness around this disease. About 30,000 people are living with it across the United States. It's considered a very rare disease. And one of the challenges, because it is a rare disease, is the research funding is so underfunded. At the federal level, there's a few million a year that goes towards ALS research, and that's compared to billions, hundreds of billions that goes to diseases like cancer. And so I think, raising awareness so we can invest in the funding so that we can have hope for those who are battling this disease.
David Jernigan, it is so good to see you. I know a lot of people in this community know you, they love you, and we are wishing you the very best.
Thank you, Jonathan.